Hello and welcome back, developmental drama listeners. Today's episode brings with itself something truly special. Started on this very day last year, that is the 13th of February, World Radio Day. The Developmental Drama Podcast turns one today. The Developmental Drama Podcast completes its 1 year journey, with the entire journey definitely being full of joy, learning, and a lot of fun. So today I, Harishri Karya, both a student of theatre who has completed a 3 year course in applied theatre and a student studying at St. Paul's School, Rajkot, am very glad to invite Kashvi Vadgama on this very special occasion to discuss with us the topic St. Paul's School, Rajkot, ICSE Mass Media Syllabus and Developmental Drama.
Hello. Thank you for having me here. It is truly a privilege to join you today and discuss the intersection of mass media and communication with developmental drama.
Well, to let our audience know, we at our school get to select any one subject from five different subjects for our grade 9 and 10 syllabus, of which Kashvi has selected mass media and communication. So, Kashvi, before we begin, our audience would love to know, why did you select this subject?
Well, I chose the subject mass media and communication because I've always carried a deep understanding of how ideas, emotions, and narratives are shaped, presented, and received in the society. It has always been a matter of curiosity for me to learn and know how meaning is constructed and how communication influences people. Mass media and communication trains its students to observe the society closely, to think critically, and express responsibly. And what drew me most to this subject is its unique blend of creativity and structure. It fosters expressive freedom while demanding intention, discipline, and thoughtful execution.
As we begin to connect both developmental drama and mass media communication syllabus, it is very important for us to discuss communication.
Well, according to me, communication lies at the very heart of both mass media and developmental drama. It is not merely the exchange of information, but the careful shaping of ideas, emotions, and intentions to ensure they are understood and felt by others. I first understood this during a developmental drama production on the Wright brothers in 6th grade. That performance highlighted how essential clear communication is among performers, facilitators, and crew members. From coordinating movements and dialogue to maintaining timing and emotional continuity, every element dependent on mutual understanding and coordination.
That's true. Communication is really important in order to maintain good coordination among the crew members and the actors. Oftentimes, communication goes beyond the stage, where actors indirectly communicate with the audience that hooks them to the stage and to the performance, engaging them to their fullest.
Definitely, Harishri. And beyond internal coordination, communication also extends to the audience. It is never ending on the stage. The audience is constantly communicating back through attention, silence, reactions, and energy. Basically, drama is never a one way expression, it is always a live conversation.
Moving further, we discuss how media can be used to enhance the developmental drama. Well, this reminds me of how Saundarya ma'am, my theatre teacher, taught me to look for stories using media that could further be evolved and formed into scripts using our own creativity and ideas that focuses on how media can be used in every aspect of developmental drama.
You're absolutely right, Harishri. Media functions as the backbone of developmental drama at every stage of the process. And this naturally leads to the importance of research. A strong performance requires an understanding of the context. For example, during our Silver Jubilee production, The Baker's Dozen, where Van Amsterdam, our protagonist, was portrayed as a rich baker from the colonial era, where media based research was very essential. Studying the colonial period allowed us to understand the social environment, lifestyle, and visual coherence of that time.
That's true. Media acts as a great tool that helps us find multiple ideas. Say, ideas about the costumes, lights, stage, and props could be found using media that would help us provide depth to the story and to the performance as a whole.
Definitely. And perhaps that is how media becomes inseparable from developmental drama. Well, mass media and developmental drama are closely related because they are serving a common purpose, that is, the effective communication of ideas and experiences. Both of them are basically two sides of a coin. Developmental drama, on one side, communicates through performances, while mass media, on the other, does it through platforms and formats.
Going ahead, print media is something that comes into play. Remember, Kashvi, a team of 5 students from our school writes articles on developmental drama and its aspects and gets them published in the Times NIE?
Yes, Harishri, I do remember them. And what makes those articles more meaningful is how they are building a bridge for those who are interested in developmental drama but do not hold direct access to its sessions or workshops.
Exactly. These articles act as a medium to spread awareness. They act as a source of information for students as individuals and institutions as a whole that could help them develop themselves and progress further. Apart from this, the students who write these articles also benefit from it. They learn essential skills like writing and editing. They have been under the process of interviewing various students and teachers that has taught them how to put their words into an article. They have learned how to organize their words and ideas in a manner that is newspaper worthy.
Exactly, Harishri. It is training these students to analyze experiences, select relevant details, and communicate responsibly.
The next aspect of developmental drama is a very special one for me: radio. I remember how I started the Developmental Drama podcast on this very day last year, the 13th of February, World Radio Day. Reflecting on my journey, I recall how I have grown more and more each month, developing myself and polishing my skills. I have learned how to research, frame, record, edit, and most importantly, make wise use of media and upload these episodes.
That is such a beautiful journey, Harishri. And even I feel that radio and podcasts create a space where developmental drama can be understood beyond performances. When listeners, especially students, are listening to these conversations, they're not just hearing about drama. They begin to understand the process, the thinking, the emotions behind it. Even if they have never stepped into performance, they still take away confidence, perspective, and the ability to communicate meaningfully. And maybe over time, listening to such platforms and gaining confidence, they're going to share their own journeys.
Exactly. And apart from this, a medium like radio reminds its listeners of the power it brings with itself. It helps one imagine things the way they want and gives its listeners the freedom to frame their own perspectives in a world which is full of audio visuals. And this is exactly how radio connects mass media along with its idea of imagining things our own way and developmental drama which is full of perspectives and stories.
Completely agree with that, Harishri. Especially in a world that is driven by constant visuals, these spaces that you're talking about preserve depth, reflection, and honest dialogue.
That's right, Kashvi. Moving to the next part, advertisement. Well, advertisement definitely is the core of mass media communication and developmental drama. And what we have seen so far is that developmental drama has its own unique medium of advertising, unlike the other traditional media that focus on influencing the mass. Developmental drama aims at creating awareness and helping students develop essential 21st century skills. And this message is spread by the cheerful smiles on a student's face after the developmental drama training and the satisfaction that they carry home.
Definitely, Harishri. Developmental drama is not engaging with commercial advertising, but it is communicating through the consistency of its impact. When these very students share their experiences, learning, and personal growth beyond the classroom, they become its most authentic ambassadors. To say so, a student who has done developmental drama is definitely going to stand out amongst the 50 other students of his or her group because that student himself or herself is an advertisement of developmental drama.
Exactly. And apart from these, as a part of formal advertising, the skills taught by developmental drama, such as building confidence and self esteem, encourage students to take up initiatives like our school students, such as starting their own podcast like this one, or writing articles for Times NIE that would act as formal advertisement.
Exactly. When skills quietly demonstrate growth and experiences find form through documentation, they emerge as the most authentic and effective form of communication.
The last point of discussion, internet. Well, internet is the largest source that one can access in order to learn more about developmental drama. It is a platform where live experiences of students can be shared. The learnings and skills of the students can definitely reach a larger audience using this particular medium. For example, reels and short videos can act as a medium to share the live experiences and skills of developmental drama students. Apart from this, the journey of developmental drama too can be understood by the students.
Definitely. Basically, the internet is becoming both a resource and a resonant space for developmental drama. From the very beginning of the preparatory process, it offers access to research, visual references, and a diverse source of inspiration. While developmental drama does not really rely on the internet, but its depth, reach, and refinement are undeniably enhanced through it.
Exactly. It is a place where you borrow information and lend your ideas and perspectives, just like the articles that are uploaded each month on our school's website.
Similarly, the digital coverage of performances, such as the Silver Jubilee production of Baker's Dozen, ensures that these moments extend beyond the stage and remain accessible even after the performance concludes. And this is where mass media and communication truly comes into play. It teaches us how to document experiences with purpose, to shape narratives thoughtfully, and carry learning across platforms. Through this, performances gain continuity, stories find direction, and creative work reaches beyond its immediate audience, turning expression into a lasting impact.
Very rightly said by Kashfi, mass media and communication and developmental drama are very closely linked through the internet. And not just the internet, as we discussed, communication that connects actors with the crew on stage and actors with the audience beyond the stage. Mass media, where the only difference is of a platform, with developmental drama thriving on stories and performances. Print media, the act of writing articles monthly and publishing them in the Times NIE, that provides a learning to the students covering a lot of areas from understanding to documenting. Radio, where words take flight and act as a backbone to the process and journey of developmental drama. Advertisements that set developmental drama apart, for it has its own way of advertising using live human beings. And lastly, the internet, where you constantly exchange ideas and perspectives, developing yourself more each time you do so. As we come to the end of this wonderful episode, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to Kashvi for joining us today and lending her time and valuable ideas that have definitely engaged us more into knowing how developmental drama and mass media communication are interlinked.
Thank you, Harishri, for having me. Conversations like these are meaningful because they allow ideas to be explored, refined, and shared with purpose. This exchange has been both thoughtful and enriching. I truly value the space it creates for learning and perspective.
Well, thank you, Kashvi, for being with us today. So, this is Harashri Karya signing off for this episode of ICSE Mass Media Communication Syllabus and Developmental Drama. Till you hear from me again, stay tuned, and yes, happy World Radio Day.